Hello everybody, I'm Max Thorin and today we're going to talk about investment in real estate in the UK. And I'm here with Richard. Please tell us what you do.
Yeah, hi Max. I'm a mortgage broker and landlord, so I've got experience in also running buy-to-let properties in the UK as well.
Wonderful. And for a person that's never invested in the UK and are interested to start that up, where do they begin? What do they do?
Yeah, very good question. Particularly for the beginners, I would say that they have to do some research. We're fortunate we've got the internet now and people like Google and so on. So they need to look at areas in England that give a good return on investment. London, ignore, it's too expensive and the returns are not very good at all. But look at all the other major cities like Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds and so on. And then do research on properties, on estate agents where you can buy properties and look at the various prices. Also you can go to what's called letting agents, which will let your property for you and do all the management and appraisal of prospective tenants and see how the math stacks up. So, for example, a typical lettable property in those cities might be costing £100,000. Typically they would need a 25% deposit, so £25,000, and the rent might be £500-600 to make sure that all of those figures are realistic in those areas, because some areas might be a little bit more expensive, so the return will not be as good, and there'll be some areas where you also want to avoid. So it's also good having a team that you can rely on, a good agent that you can trust, who can give you guidance on that. You'll need a solicitor. Also, invariably, there will be times when your property might need a bit of maintenance or repair. So it's good also to have people that you can trust to do that, which normally comes down to getting recommendations or referrals from either the agents or maybe other investors who are using other people for their own team.
Okay. And for trusting people, do you just go with referrals?
Yeah, typically referrals are the best. Sometimes that's not always possible, but referrals are definitely the best route. Usually the local agents will be able to refer you to people because they will do regular maintenance repairs, for example, on the properties that they use on a regular basis. So that's usually a very good route to take.
And do you need to be a kind of person? Do you need any special skills? Be brave, be analytical?
Yeah, definitely be brave. I think you've got to have what I call entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Not just have what I call a job mindset, to be safe in knowing that every day you go to work and you'll get paid. You definitely have to have a more riskier view of life. Investing in property is not very risky, but there are always challenges that come with that. Sometimes there may be times when a property is vacated and it's empty for a little while, or you'll get tenants who for whatever reason don't pay. So, or you've got, as I had recently, one house, you may have an occasional a fridge that needs fixing or a washing machine, but occasionally you may have a roof that needs replacing. Those things can be daunting for some people, so you definitely have to have a bit of a more entrepreneurial business riskier attitude to life and in your character.
And not spend the profit you make straight away, hold it back for the bad days.
Yeah. I wouldn't say necessarily bad days, but yes, there are eventualities that will definitely come along, and then maybe do a yearly review. And if you've had a good year and you've got some spare cash in the bank, yes, you can treat yourself, maybe better clothes, a nicer holiday or whatever. Then those are the benefits of life. The big plus point with property in the longer term is what some people refer to as passive income or time-free income, where, for example, if you made a profit after all costs on a property, maybe £250 per month, and if maybe you had 10 properties, that would be £2,500 a month. For most people, they could give up their job.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, if they really like the job and they don't want to give that up, it gives them an extra, more pleasant, nicer lifestyle. Like I said, better holidays, quality of life, maybe whatever people want to have a better life on, nicer car, for example.
Yeah, and pushing money into your passions.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
And how much time do you need? A week, a month, a day to?
I personally spend maybe 1 hour a week because all the important aspects are delegated. So I'll have a letting agent. They do what's called a full management service. So they would, for example, interview and find any potential tenants. They would do referencing. Then when the tenant is in, they will collect the rent every month. And then they will send me a monthly statement, which I just analyse. If there's been any expenditure, for example, a washing machine may have needed some maintenance or repair, that would be deducted from the statement. So everything is done. I would just check the statement, make sure that the funds are in the bank account and that all the mortgages and funding is paid. So for me, it's about 1 hour a week. Some people prefer to be more hands-on. Maybe if after a period of time you did do property full-time, then you could take over those functions yourself. So therefore it might be 3-4 hours a day. Okay, but at the moment, if you do hands-off, it can be very minimal.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like too much. And in Sweden we have like rules of how you can put the rents a little bit. Is there rules about how much rent you can charge?
No, in England it's more what the market dictates. So each individual property in each individual area of a town or a city will have a going market rent, and that's what you charge. So for example, London can be very, very expensive. And in most cases, people have to share accommodation. You may have an apartment shared by 2, 3, 4 people, or a house with maybe 4 or 5, 6 people. Whereas in Manchester, where I live, you can easily rent a house from a normal salary in your own right, maybe for family use or with a partner. But as a rule, most people can rent their own properties at the going market rent, and it's fine.
And of course, a lot of people might say, "Oh, Brexit, now it's not the time to invest." La 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 la. Is it different from the north to the south?
Yes, definitely down south there is a lot of concern and uncertainty because the south will have more of an impact from Brexit. It's more reliant on Europe and jobs and income, particularly in the financial services sector, investment and stock markets and so on. Whereas out of London it's less reliant, but there's still overall a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace. Some people have been selling up and so on, and I would say an investor coming in now is probably a good time because they'll probably get some better, cheaper prices or reductions. But maybe once we know the exact results of Brexit and how it pans out, there may be a further bit of an adjustment, and then prices will probably go back to what they were before. But in the short term, there'll probably be opportunities.
I think that covers it pretty much. So do you have like a last slogan, a power push to people that starts?
Yeah, very good question. I would say that definitely if it's something that interests you, take the jump. It doesn't have to be a jumping off a cliff. Because if you get the right team around you, then it's just like anything. It's new. There's a learning curve. There's always these scary initial moments of getting something you don't know or experience. But if you do the right research, get the right training, and so on, then it's fine. It's fine.
Wonderful. Well, amazing. Thank you very much, Richard.
Great. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, if you want to learn more about properties in England and start that journey, contact Daniel Wood. You can find him Entrepreneur Daniel Wood on Instagram. And take a chance if you want to live a different life than everybody else. Take a risk, take a chance. Jump, jump, jump.